Welcome. Hey, welcome everyone. I am 10 minutes late. I apologize. I'm having some kind of a hurricane here. I don't know. It's like torrential and windy and insane. So I'm hoping the internet holds out. It's been in and out all day. So obviously right now we're connected. It looks like I'm good on all platforms. I don't want to start until I'm sure. If you guys could give me a thumbs up on TikTok, and if you could start hitting those hearts, share this video, it would be greatly appreciated. Looks like we do have some movement. Okay, so I'm pretty confident there. Instagram, if I could see some movement, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you can hear me and see me all right. Same thing here on Ivy Angela Rivera, Ivy Rivera Psychic Medium on Facebook and YouTube at Ask Ivy. Thank you, TikTok, if you guys could on YouTube and Facebook. Let me know that you can hear me and see me all right. Okay, Jill, my producer, says we're good on Facebook. Okay. So I'm going to make a couple quick announcements before we get into this today. I am dried out, so I may be hacking all night. It's just like I'm in New York and the heaters have just had to kick on, and I don't think my body is adjusting to it very well. It really does dry you out, and there's nothing you could do about it. Like, there's no amount of water that's going to fix it. Before we get into today's announcements, I do want to encourage you guys to start dropping your questions. So this is my Get a Grip on Your Money, Career, and Investments show. Now, if you don't want to do this publicly, no need to message here and ask. Jill, my producer, will be taking your questions. You know, you don't need to reach out and be like, can she do this for me privately after? No, I'm not doing that. But you can go onto my website and you can book a money, career, and investment reading for yourself where you get that type of undivided attention. And you can go to ivyriverapsychicmedium.com. Now, obviously, this is a public show, so you're going to go ahead and drop whatever your questions are. And it could literally be about anything: resources, financial, a change in education, a change in, you know, residency. If you're looking at investing in a certain stock, it could be literally anything goes. Okay, but $5 gets you the short answer, $10 gets you the long answer. And if you're here on YouTube at Ask Ivy, I would highly recommend, if you're not, you switch over here, because this platform will not shut down. TikTok will eventually shut down, just because they do that every live I give. So you guys can see the directions here on YouTube at the top of the screen. Same thing on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, however you can't. So Jill, my beautiful producer, is going to be dropping the directions on how you make your payment, submit your question. She's going to be doing that in the comment section repeatedly, because it also doesn't pin very well to the top. Okay, so pay attention to that. And I will be getting to everyone. Right, so again, this is Get a Grip on Your Money, Career, and Investments, and any type of question goes. So I do want to say thank you to my YouTube members. I so appreciate your continued support, especially now as I'm about to purchase some new equipment yet again. Things get worn out here after the years go by, and I've been at this for quite a long time now. So I'm going to be looking into some new pods and things like that, and possibly lighting. So it helps a lot. I appreciate you guys. Jan Phillips, Heather G., Jill Marie, Angie Johnson, Jennifer Cole, Bonnie S., D. Alt, Yolanda Fisher, CJG, Marie D. Masubi, Mary, Audra, Robin Hartling, Chicken Mama, Tristan Marion, Edgar Velarde, Vanessa, Me Love 716, and Andrea M. I do know that I forgot some people. I apologize for that. I have to update my list, and I will do that for the next show. Couple quick announcements. If you guys, Jill, whatever you want to pop up. I forget what order we're going in here. I have a new channel. So the last Late Night Circus show I did was on Project 2025. It was a request. You guys had been asking me to cover it. The algorithm does not appreciate my Late Night Circus show, which covers like trending and viral topics, international news, major headlines, and then a lot of news that's being hidden, but is really pertinent to where we are astrologically, spiritually, energetically. How is this current event part of the bigger picture and the revolution that's going on? So I break down all of those things, and the algorithm hates me for it. So what I did to be able to bring back the Late Night Circus show is I gave it its own channel. Okay, so it's Late Night, NITE Circus. This is on YouTube. Please find it and subscribe, support the channel so that I can keep running that show, because I will not be running it here from this @AskIV channel. All right, so that's exciting. Late Night Circus is back. No better time than the present, that's for sure. All right, we also have going on all these balls and balloons and stuff, and the cats. Like, we've been having the ghost hunts here and haunted sleepovers and stuff. And now they've become cat toys. Give the gift of spirit with a gift certificate this holiday season. So you can go onto my website, ivrivera.psychicmedium.com, and you can get a gift certificate for the Ivy League Psychic Academy classes or courses to gift to someone. You can also go under Roots Revival Interfaith for some of the certifications to gift to someone. And of course, you can get readings with me, parties with me. All right, so check out the gift certificates online. This is a gift they are going to love. And that's, not like a gitchy saying. Like, I've never had anyone disappointed getting a gift like that. I would love a gift. If somebody gave me a tarot read gift certificate or something, I go crazy for that, right? That's amazing. They don't need the sweater, okay? Book your holiday party now. So if you wanted to book for your business, your corporate event, your family party, your friend party, whatever it is, okay? If you're looking to book a holiday party at this time, you're really gonna wanna get that in here quickly. Those dates are filling up fast. Now, I do gallery shows where I read the entire group, I read the audience. Usually that's what people want, is 1 hour, maybe 2 hours of gallery. And then they want private reads afterward, where people who want more can go and get more. So check that out. But we also have Ivy League Psychic fairs. So really popular thing, especially for the corporate world. They call me up and they say, we want you to bring in a whole psychic fair. You'll be the entertainment for our New Year's party or our Christmas party or whatever it is, for all of the employees and clients. And that's always fun. But again, those are going to book up fast. Okay, so Ivy League Psychic fairs or book me for a party, that's up on the website. Check it out, get to it quickly. And what else do we have going on? Okay, Victorian Tea and Gallery Show. Thank you. So my Victorian Tea and Gallery Show at Margin Manor Winery is coming up this weekend. It is sold out. And that's it. There's nothing I could do about it. Okay, so we've already extended the seats as far as we possibly can. But I know you guys keep reaching out and being like, well, can we maybe squeeze in one more and this and that? No. However, Margin Manor Winery does have tickets for next year's show. So I will be there on November 23rd of 2025. And you may want to go ahead and get your tickets now for that. So you can go to marginmanor.com and reserve your seats. And for everyone else who booked your ticket for this weekend, I will see you there doing the gallery show, the Victorian tea, the finger foods, wine tasting with the private reads after. It's amazing. Love it. All right, we're going to move on to another Christmas on Central. I will be reading, giving private reads the entire day. Christmas on Central is here in Dunkirk, New York, and I love this event. I have not had time, obviously, because I'm working, to wander around the town, but I would love to. I'm going to have to take a year off just to do this. So there are a lot of old historical buildings in Dunkirk, New York. So this is all on Central and like in the downtown area. And we're filling them. So we just have different vendors, food trucks. The kids get these horse and carriage rides and hot chocolate, and they get to meet Santa, and there's all kinds of other stuff going on that's fun for them. So it's a family-friendly event. But in all of these buildings, all along the strip, and even a bit in the old school, that was my school at one point when I was a little kid, you can wander around. I will be in the Elks, the old historical Elks Lodge. And yeah, come check it out, check out the history. Have a good time, get some Christmas shopping done, treat yourself to something nice like a reading, and you can pre-book with me. So if you don't want to try your hand at a walk-in, because I may fill up, you can go onto my website now and you can pre-book yourself up to 3 spots per person. Right? So again, Rivera.psychicmedium.com. I keep repeating that because I can't post anything on some of these platforms. Okay, so I sound like a broken record. Jill, do we have anything else coming up? So we have symbology, my symbology book. I'm back on it. Okay, so working on the final, publishing phases here of my symbology book. If you're into dream analysis, numerology, the meaning behind colors and animal totems, and what do all these symbols mean all the time? If you feel like symbols follow you in patterns, this is going to be the book for you. So if you want to get on the early bird wait list, you're going to go to Rivera@yahoo.com and just say add me. Okay, and I'll get you on the early bird wait list for the book sales. All right. Enter the raffle to win $2,500 value. Sorry, so many advertisements today. I didn't realize I put so many in order. $2,500 value though. You're going to want to check this one out. If you've been debating on taking the psychic mediumship course, now it's evergreen. You don't have to wait. But if you wanted to join with a group, we start January 7th and I'm running a raffle. So you could win your seat, 100% free class. Okay, $2,500 value, $20 gets you 5 tickets and $5 gets you 1 ticket. That's up on the website. Good luck. Psychic mediumship course begins January 7th. Spirit of Tarot also begins January 7th with Tiffany Chisler. So her course is, I believe it's 6 weeks. I believe so. January 7th to March 11th, 7 to 9 p.m. Registration is now open for the tarot course and the psychic mediumship course, but seats will be filling fast on this and have already started to. So reserve your spot now. You can go to ivyleaguepsychicacademy.com for that or up on my regular website. All right, super exciting. Are we out of? Good Lord, we're good. Okay, we're good. Thank you. So let's move on to questions. Again, all right, you guys can check in the comment section if you're on Instagram or TikTok for directions on submission and payment. If you are here on YouTube or Facebook, it should be posted right up at the top in the description, how you drop your payment and your question, and Jill, my beautiful producer, will be getting to all of that. So welcome everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium, a Taino Airwalk, and this is my Get a Grip on Your Money, Career, and Investments show, where any type of question goes on those topics. $5 gets you the short answer, $10 gets you the long answer. And if you want to do this privately, you can go to ivyreverapsychicmedium.com and book a money reading for yourself. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Who do we have first? So we have Mairead, and this is a $10 question. Okay. So Mairead says, I have a lot of bills coming out at once, and I'm concerned I won't be able to pay everything and my rent and utilities. Can I do anything to increase my finances? Okay, so you're concerned you won't be able to pay those bills and then the rent and utilities. Okay, what can you do to increase? I think one of the things that you may need to do is show up for some side hustle work. And while I don't like to, refer to any type of light work as like hustle work per se, you do need to have exchange. So if you're going to go out and do something like tarot readings, and this is not something I'm going to recommend to everyone, but I know Mairead, she's a graduate certified reader through the Academy. So there's no reason she can't do incredibly well offering something like that to the public. I think that if you were to go out, Mairead, and you were to, show up, like you have to show up to give short readings. I mean, these don't look very complex or long. It feels almost like you're doing some kind of a live. So if you were to do something on like, your YouTube or your TikTok channel, or you were to do something maybe on like Facebook, Instagram, if you're finding some way to, through social media, promote readings. Even if you can't do a live per se, maybe you can do readings and film them, but they seem short. Like it's one answer, or it's one question flip. Maybe it's a 3-card flip. Maybe it's a past, present, future. It's something simple. Maybe it's also like, they just want a message, like my Unbound Sage show, where they're dropping $10 and they get whatever message is there waiting for them already. There are a million ways that you can do this, but I think you need to get a little creative. You could also mimic what's popular for other tarot readers and what they're doing, or psychic mediumship. And then you receive some type of reciprocity for that. There's a lot of attitude out there about, well, you shouldn't be receiving if it came from God. Yeah, well, so did mathematical abilities. So did scientific abilities. So did an ability to fix a car. I don't see my mechanic doing it for free. I don't see anybody doing this for, it doesn't work that way. People will want it for free, but they shouldn't get it for free. That's a sign that they don't deserve it. And, we want to have strict boundaries there. So this is a time for you to offer them help and channel and perfect your craft while accepting some type of donation or reciprocity, but it doesn't feel like it needs to be anything too much. So maybe you're doing $5 readings, $10 readings, 15, 20, 25, 30. I wouldn't go beyond that, but you should also be offering an opportunity for them to purchase more, get something where they can get more undivided attention, like a whole spread. What do you guys call that? The cross, Celtic cross or something? Maybe you have a spread that you like to use and they can get a whole spread reading, but allow that separately. So you're using your bite-size readings to promote your more in-depth readings and build up a bit of a client base. I think this is something that is relatively easy for you to offer and can substantially help. I also think that you're not going to be as hard up as you think. Okay, so it does feel like you're able to pay those bills. So I wouldn't worry about it. I also wouldn't refrain from getting out there and offering some light work in exchange for a little food, a little bit of electricity. No shame in asking. That's the rule of the universe. All right, enjoy, Mairead. Good luck with everything. I think it's gonna be fine. All right, we do want to move on to another question here. This is a $10 from a Luda. Luda wants to know, what can you tell me as I head into creating a business? Well, I would have to know the name of the business. I would need to know which one you're choosing because it looks like you were split there for a while, 2 to 3 different ones. I would need some details. Now, if you guys are dropping questions like this, make sure you at least give me the name of what you're referring to so I can actually, look into it. But what can I tell you as you head into creating a business? I guess I would say that for you, one of the really important things is going to be to keep your head straight, to not allow yourself to be bothered by the ebbs and the flows, the roller coaster ride that comes along with the blood, sweat, and tears the first 5 years that goes into creating and sustaining a healthy business. I survived with my ministry and my businesses through horrific ordeals. And that included things like COVID, what was looking like a terrible recession, inflation, And, something like 85% of businesses tend to fail in situations like that. And I made it. And this is the point I'm making to you. One of the ways I was able to do that is because I do not allow myself to fluctuate energetically based on the amount of sales. I make sure that I am maintaining a high vibration when I show up, and I continuously show up, and I refuse to stop showing up regardless of the circumstances outside of me. So maintaining a high vibration in this type of atmosphere means that you are going to know you are where you're supposed to be. You're going to offer whatever services it is that you're offering with confidence that they are in alignment with your life contract, your life path. You are doing what you're meant to do. And you're not hyper focusing on the end result or the bank account or the payout. And if you can do that, and I think that you can, I just think you're going to have to be very disciplined with yourself. You're going to have to train yourself through a couple circumstances. I think you're really going to see a lot of success. And I think it's going to come for you earlier than what that happens to come for most people, which is like between the 8th year, maybe the 10th to the 12th year. I think you're going to see that around the 4th year, which is a wonderful thing, and kind of speed right on through the 4th to the 6th year with a little bit of change going on in the 7th year. But ultimately, you have to learn how to do this. And it's not that something's going wrong with your business. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it's a new business, and this is the general rule for all new businesses. And I honestly think that's the base reason a lot of businesses fail, or we would say most businesses fail, because people don't learn how to do that. Okay, so make sure you're staying focused. And here's the point to me saying this, and this isn't just for Luda. If you can't do that, there's no point in even getting into it, okay? Because this is not for the weak. And you will automatically negatively affect law of attraction if you are nervous and clenched and anxious about money. You're having a toxic relationship with money. It's an abusive relationship with money and the concept of wealth and fluidity and prosperity. You can't do that. You want to have an open flow of energy. You want to utilize law of attraction by thinking high vibrational. Okay, again, even when the circumstances around you are looking low, or it's taking a dip, or sales are resting for a moment. Okay, and when you have high vibration and law of attraction, you're gonna like attracts like. You're gonna still bring in prosperity. It also affects manifestation, like negating prayer. When you worry, okay, and you're coming from a place of ego, fear, manipulation, and control, and shut down manifestation, you're going to trigger negative law of attraction. And it's just a sign you're not cut out for business. Okay, you're going to have to get past that. All right, but you master this skill, you can master anything. Okay, because that is a universal master skill. Let's move on to another one. Okay, the $10 question. All right, so Shining Divine Light Tarot has a $10 question. I'm currently living with my boyfriend. We have a newborn. I don't know if we are going to work out. I have no job. 327 hours of nail tech school left. All right, 327 hours of nail tech. Let's get you out of this. I'm stuck on how to survive financially myself. How can I make money to pay the bills after we split? You may have to swallow your pride on this one. It's not really a situation where you're going to be able to get to a stable financial place with all of the additional bills. We're talking rent, we're talking paying, kids are so expensive, right? All of this. I would say just be careful and very mindful that you're not having any more. You know, it does feel for you like this could be some surprise packages, like more kids just kind of coming in, okay, all at once. And it can defy scientific odds. So just be mindful, okay, that you're stopping that now and focusing on getting to a better place. He does not feel like the right partner. So your best bet is going to be exiting the situation in any way that you really have to. And he may not be very supportive of you doing what you need to do to get financially stable. So it's sort of like being a mouse on a wheel. You're like a hamster, you know, but like trapped in one of those balls, you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm like, you know, I got to get out of here. When you are in a relationship like this and you're also sharing a residency, it can really drain your energy and it can trigger negative law of attraction and kill off a lot of manifestation that you're trying to create. So you've put yourself in a situation now where, you know, you really have to exit scene left on all things. Now, when I said you may need to swallow your pride, what I mean is you may need to take him to court for child support. You may need to use the welfare or food stamp system. You may need to look into any kind of, you know, government programs that are available to help you out while you get back on your feet. Look, you paid for it. No doubt about it, especially if you're in a blue state. Us blue state, we pay for everybody in the whole country. Okay, all these red states, they don't put anything into the pot. We pay for them, okay, and we're about to pull support out. So don't think you didn't pay for it already. Try to think of it like a bank account that's there for you, you know. You're going to use it when you need it, all right? And then I think you need to, with this nail tech stuff, get back into it, finish it up, okay, as quickly as you can. I am very confident that you'll do well in that. But you need to do a little bit of work on yourself too, where you're not allowing yourself to bring your emotion into your work. So that includes your training. Okay. Keep emotion out of it. Keep your personal life out of it and get very organized about how you're going to be dealing with schedules with the baby and things like this so that you can make sure you're showing up on time to the remainder of your training. But you may even be able to get some help with that. Now, I don't know if that's like government help necessarily, but I do see like loans and opportunities coming in. All right, so move forward with it, get out of that situation, and that will start to automatically trigger your prosperity and manifestation, removing yourself from that situation because it will keep you stuck. All right, thank you for that, shining divine light. We're going to move on to another one. If you guys dropped a payment, but like you didn't submit your question right or whatever, be watching for Jill. I see her in the comment sections trying to get information from you guys. Don't make her work too hard, okay? So pay attention that everything's matching, your payment and your question, and watch for her there. Plus, if you don't, when I wrap up the show, you're going to get transferred over into a future show. So if you don't do it while I'm here, I don't do 6-hour marathon lives like a lot of people do. I do like an hour and I'm out, okay? All right, Edgar, $10 question. So Edgar wants to know, could I please get a job prediction for my therapist job at Starlight, company I work for, in 2025? Okay, a job prediction. Starlight 2025 for Edgar. Looks good. Looks like a promotion coming in. There could be some talk toward the end of January, like the last, probably in the third week. There could be talk of a promotion. Then we are looking at an actual promotion. Now that can mean that you end up having two, okay? But the second one feels more solidified already, meaning this is nearly a guarantee. Now there's a lot of free will involved in a situation like this. There are too many hands in the pot, and I can't give a guarantee on what humans will decide to do. But it is destiny charted for you that something like this should be lined up, which is either going to mean you are going to get a significant promotion. I feel like I'm just past the middle of the year, like going into the, you know, fall almost, end of summer, fall, or you're going to choose to exit and take a promotion that you created some other way. So both of these are going to be options for you. And I think that what you're really doing while you're there in 2025 is polishing your craft. It's like you're perfecting your skills. There's this sense of you sort of like showcasing yourself, your expertise, bringing something new to the table, bringing something different in with the way you relate to clients and clients respond to you. So be mindful that even if your bosses didn't say that they're looking for that, it will be noticed. So it will be taken into consideration. It's also something you're supposed to be noticing more of because it says a lot about future direction. So where you seem to have unique skills that get you noticed, again, in areas where, in particular, these clients are responding to you when they haven't responded to anyone else, or we're seeing some significant breakthroughs, picking up on additional skills, like they're able to pick up on additional skills, you know, a while after. It seems like you will want to direct your career more, okay, in, you know, down those paths wherever you choose to go. So yeah, Starlight has some opportunities within it. I would say so. You know, I do think that sometimes they, meaning management, seems almost overwhelmed, like they have maybe too many options. Maybe they have too many people working there. You know, maybe there's a little bit of conflict in who should be getting what type of promotion. And I think that while you can speak on it, you can claim it, you can sort of bid on it, I don't think there's a ton of pushing you can do in regards to that. And I do wonder if sometimes that gets frustrating in 2025. Okay, but it is what it is. You know, everyone has to just sort of earn it, and people in power get to make that choice ultimately. So we'll see. Okay, but it looks pretty good. Thank you, Edgar. We're going to move on to another one. You guys, I forgot to ask you to like this video. If everyone, whatever platform you're on, I really do appreciate it. And on TikTok, if you could give this some hearts and share, please do like this video. Drop a comment of any kind. It helps me out in the algorithm. And especially if you're here on YouTube, please do subscribe. Thanks, everyone. All right, we're going to move on to $10 from Yolanda. Okay, so Yolanda says, I had multiple startups. Grief overcame me, and my time management went down the drain. Okay. Should I start over with something new or try to rebuild the old new? Okay. Can I get some names on these startups? Okay, names of anything or just even categories of what these are. In the meantime, I'll tell you what I'm getting. I think you need to go back. So, you know, there is a sense here of going back with one in particular and going forward with it, which means it's sort of going to be renewed and done in a very different way. I don't necessarily think that you were supposed to do it at that time. This has to do with you communicating with other people, offering healing to other people. This would be any form of like energy work or light work. You know, this could be seen, I guess, as somewhat almost feeling like clinical, because it does have a lot to do with like the brain, their brain. It's almost neurological, really, but it's like you're helping them. I also see you working with people in a way where you can help them to detox or remove blocks and obstacles that are preventing them from accomplishing what they need to accomplish, getting in touch with who they really are, understanding their true life path, feeling confident, empowered. Okay, so if there's anything you are also thinking of doing with like self-empowerment, in particular for women and girls, that also comes up here. Do we have any names from her yet? No? Okay, I'll just keep going. I think that what I meant by it's old and it's new is like, if you would have started it in the past, it may have fallen a bit flat anyways. I think there was some life experience, and nobody ever wants to go through something traumatic or dramatic, but when you do, which you did, it taught you the last of the lessons you needed to learn to be able to talk the talk. You can't talk the talk without walking the walk. And so you may have been sort of talking out of ideas, but not experience, which is a completely different ballgame. It does not land the same, just doesn't hit the same. People aren't drawn to it in the same way. Now, because you went through some things, you're going to be tapping into a higher vibrational, more intense healing energy. And the universe is really backing you in this. And that's just a flow you can't buy. You know, that's not something you can create with marketing and, you know, networking, and it's going to happen naturally. You know, this is a time for you to also, though, understand what you've been through in recent years and maybe sort of alchemize your limitations on the way you think about it, where you're saying like, I went through these things. I also went through all these other things in my life. And that storyline puts me in a unique position to help others in those areas. I have wisdom and strength and power in those areas. You know, what in me is untapped? What resources? How can I use that? Because ultimately, anything you decide to do with business, entrepreneurship, startups, whatever you refer to them as, you're going to be able to come from that energy and do well. I think that, you know, the other thing, I just want to wrap up on this, and this is really for everybody. You want to think of it this way. You go through something, okay, then you heal and alchemize and transmute that energy into power and lessons. And step number 3 is giving it out. Okay. So you have a unique story to tell. But yeah, it feels like a lot of communication for sure. A lot of healing energy. I would go in that direction. And again, that particular group of people, it comes up several times within your life contract as being important. Women and girls, okay, helping out. Also anything you were to do in food business, okay? Even if somebody else were to be like, you want to partner up and do a bakery or something, you do well in that too. Okay, so you have a lot of business smarts in general. All right, let's move on to, looks like we have another one coming in here from $5 Christy. So Christy wants to know, I'm supposed to be starting a filler job. I am wondering if I'll stick with that job or if I'll take the job I've been waiting for, and how will my finances look for it? Okay, starting a filler job. Will I stick with that job or will I get the job? I think you're asking if you're going to get the job, not take the job, because it's up to you. Will I do this or will I do this? Well, it depends on what you choose. Right? There's free will future and there's destiny charted future. It's not, it depends. So don't forget you have free will here. How do you want to use your free will? What is your ultimate goal? Where do you want to be? You know, don't take a passive approach to all of this. It's like, will it be this or will it be this? It will be what you make of it. Okay. But in regards to whether or not you'll get that job that you've been waiting for, and how will your finances look for it? Well, I think if you stay at the one that's temporary, or you said it's like a filler job, I think it's okay. I mean, I don't see a lot of growth there. So if you stay there, the finances will be okay. It's a little bit of a hand-to-mouth feel. It's like I'm paying the bills, you know, but I don't have a lot extra. It brings insecurity, but that's all it brings. It doesn't bring in any type of luxury, freedom for creativity, expansion. When we look at the other job that you want, I do think if you keep pursuing it and you look outside the box a bit, meaning don't pursue it just in one location, pursue it repeatedly through multiple avenues, yes, I think you will end up working in that field, okay, or with that job. But it's not really looking at one specific job as much as it's what does that job do for you? How does it make you feel? What level of fulfillment is it bringing? What about it makes you feel good? You enjoy leadership. You enjoy management. You enjoy being in a position where you can tell people what to do and tell everything where it needs to go. And that's what's going to make you successful. Not that job itself, but that avenue itself. Okay. So push harder down that direction. And there's where the money is going to be. Okay. That's where the money is for you. That's lucrative. All right, good luck, Christy. Thank you for your question. We're going to move on to another question, and this is a $10 from Heather. All right, Heather wants to know, my career seems to be in neutral right now. Any insight? Okay. I see you doing a few different things, so I don't know. Again, I don't have names of what exactly you're referring to, but you know, it seems like we've got some movement in some areas, and I do see what looks like a bit of stagnancy in the remainder of it. So I think that what's happening here is there's a need for more push. There's a need for more transition. I keep hearing the word bloom, okay? And this is coming from your Work and Money Guide. So what they're referring to here is almost like a plant. If a plant needs to bloom, a tree needs to produce fruit or flowering needs to happen, it's not really just going to happen on its own. You have to have the right kind of nutrients in the soil. It has to get enough sunlight, has to have the right amount of water. You can't do too much, can't do too little. And it needs to be talked to. It needs to be, I talk to my plants, right? My grandparents taught me if you talk to plants, they will thrive. And it's true. Most of my plants are dead because I don't do it often enough, okay? But the ones that do really well, I literally talk to them like I do my cats. So I think you're not like creating a bloom here. And what's happening is that your sort of lack of nutrients that you're putting into it, your lack of almost, I don't want to say empathy, but it's like energy in general is the result of what you're looking at. And what that means is that you don't show up and grind. You know, it's work smarter, not harder. It's understanding that you are constantly needing to change and be in alignment with your life contract and your life path. And staying somewhere and doing the same thing repeatedly for weeks, months, years on end is not where it's at. Movement, change, growth, development is where it's at. So I think this is a good time for you to do an assessment on you. Instead of looking to the outside world, banks, institutions, shared spousal support, the government, employers, instead of looking to the outside world and saying, what can it give me? Go inside yourself, be introspective, and say, what in me is untapped? How am I the resource? What am I not processing in here? This is going to probably come up for you as some unfinished business from the past. That's not all that's going to come up, but that is a big part of what you're seeing right now in this sort of stagnant energy, is that there's something you need to bring back. There's something you need to complete. There's some lack of fulfilled, project here. So you could find yourself reinventing a bit through what you were previously planning on doing. And I think that you want to be outside the box in your thinking about all of this, because it could force you to make some uncomfortable changes. Definitely a sense of stepping out in blind faith, but I think nothing is as uncomfortable as treading water. Okay, so one of the other things you really need to be doing is making sure you're not just looking at what you're good at. So if you're saying in your work, I'm always getting promotions in this, or I do pretty good and I have a pretty good understanding of like marketing or advertising or management, or, I have a lot of Virgo in my chart, and so I'm good at like correcting things. I have the engineer's mind. I understand how systems fit together. That's where my money's always been. That's where my skill has always been. We need to let that go at this time, okay? Because it's just not working anymore. That's sort of dead, done, over with. Not to say it's going anywhere, but it's not where your focus needs to be. When something is perfected, it is over. That's it. We're done. Okay. So what else? Where do you need to polish up your skills? And I think you also will find that if you're being honest about this, the things that you're good at, you don't have a lot of passion toward. So, there's this need for fire in the belly also. All right. And, you've got about, I want to say 3 to 4 months before you're really expected to sort of run through the rest of this process. And you could see some peaking in potential opportunities in the 5th month, opportunities that will say, go this way. Here, I'm offering you this. You did the work. Here, you can have this now. Okay, so just be careful also with that. All that glitters is not gold, and be careful not to go backward. All right, but yeah, looks good, but a little change, you're going to have to create it for sure. All right, and that really goes for everyone. If you ever reach a point of stagnancy with things and you're like, what is happening? It's always a time to like renew. It's a time to renegotiate. It's a time to reinvent yourself. It's a time to go inside yourself and say, how am I the resource? What in me is untapped? But do not just look to the outside world. Again, your employers, your finances, the government, banks and institutions, don't look out there. That's how this happened in the first place. You have to go inside. Okay. All right, let's move on to another one. Thank you for that question, Heather. We have a $10 question from CJG. $10. My finances aren't good, at this time? What steps should I take to make the quickest increase in finances? Okay. So steps for CJG to increase the finances. It does feel like a side hustle is going to be necessary, but not necessarily in the entrepreneur sense. So more like you may choose to go and get a barista job. You may choose to pick up something seasonal. You may choose to, I even saw oddly like a car wash. Like if you have car washes near you, quite literally, they may be like really hiring very quickly. Now, I don't know if that's like detailing or you could possibly get a job in management there, or you'd actually be, who cares what, okay, at this point. But like the point is, you know, there's a lot around you that's looking. So you're probably just going to have to go find something. This may actually lead you to significant awareness that taking on those types of jobs that you wouldn't have normally taken on, even if they are listed originally or you're hired on as like temporary or it's holiday work, right? It's seasonal. Even if that happens, I think it could lead to potential opportunities if you choose to take them that allow you to make a substantial amount of money and even network into some other avenues that are interesting for you. So we don't want to rule this out by any means. That's probably going to be the quickest thing that you could do. Yeah. Anything else seems to be a long drawn out process. I do want to just warn you that if you're applying anywhere and thinking of, you know, like a major move, this could be a situation where you're not, I don't want to say you're being scammed, but they're presenting as though they are actually hiring. And I would love to hear in the comment section, has anyone been going through this? It's been a problem for the last 2 years all over the country in America here, where people are pretending to hire and they're not. So you go through their 16-part process of getting hired. You're spending a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of mental distress in those types of situations. And it was never real. Those aren't real positions. Those aren't available, you know, or they're already claimed by someone else on the inside or whatever, you know, so just be careful you're not getting caught up in that type of thing. Okay. But yeah, there are options out there for sure. All right, so let's move on to another one here from Kelly. This is a $10 question. And Kelly wants to know, should I pursue the teaching position within the company I'm currently in, or the company that's trying to recruit me? The pay scale would be largely different, or should I continue with the BCBA route? Okay, BCBA route. So it feels like leaving may bring you the most amount of, I heard joy. I was going to say psychically satisfaction. So both, I mean, what's the difference really? You know, one can lead to the other. I think that what your guides are talking about here, and you do have a couple deceased loved ones here as well, is that you have to get out of a rut. Okay, like you have a almost like a poverty mentality based on maybe some karma from, I don't believe in generational curses, but I do believe in generational programming. Like family may have handed down to you, like you don't leave a job that's stable. You know, you stay there till you retire or whatever. And these concepts are dead. Okay, dead, done, over with. All right, we're in the revolution now. It's time for movement, creativity, and a willingness to let go of the old sort of capitalistic mentality. Okay, in a lot of ways. And that's kind of what's interfering here with the flow. However, the opportunity has presented itself. So as long as you're willing to actually do it, you're going to use your free will to step out. I think you're going to get the most satisfaction, even if it doesn't feel like the longest term like option for you. Like you may not stay there forever. If you were to go with the company that's recruiting you, you may use it as a stepping stone, which I highly recommend anyways. When we look at our work the way our employers look at us workers, we realize we're seen as disposable, right? So you want to look at your work as being that as well. It's a stepping stone. It's leverage. It's an opportunity. Okay, it's like a video game. You're going to collect your tokens. You're going to put them in your pockets, and you're going to jump up to the next level. So as long as you see it that way, I think you're actually going to have a lot of success, expansion, networking opportunities, and you're going to have some light bulbs turning on that show you what the next step in your path is. Okay, regardless of where you are, what are you supposed to be doing? Are you in alignment with your life contract, your life path? And this can move you forward faster. Staying feels a bit stagnant to me, but the financial stability and things maybe getting promised to you may be there. So this is a free will question for you. You need to ask yourself what you really want. Do you want change, or do you want to stay the same in most ways? The idea of going forward with BCBA, this almost reads to me as like some type of, like expansion on your title is what that feels to me. So take it out, resonates, but it feels like you could be recognized as more of a brand if you were to go forward with that also. And it feels like you could be doing multiple things at once. So, going forward with that would allow for you to be seen not only for like your expertise, your experience, but also for your character, your integrity, a sort of innate wisdom, that comes along with being able to have almost like common sense and be innovative and be able to bring in some leadership skills. You can't buy that. You either have it or you don't. If you take that route, BCBA, it feels like you're being identified as that. And that brings quite a lot of possibility. So yeah, I mean, if I were you, I'd be going with both of those routes. All right. Thank you, Kelly. We're going to move on to another one. Good. Yeah, Heather, you're welcome. Heather says this clears up a lot of questions. CJG says, yes, I have already. Okay, so I'm assuming that's like applying. Okay, good. All right. So Corey, $10 question. Corey wants to know, can you tell me what steps I can take to make a career switch that I am actually passionate about, and timing with any job opportunity coming up? Okay, so we want to know timing on a job, and you want to know switches to, you just basically want to know about your life contract. Let's just say it like that. You guys can book a life contract reading at any time. It's up on my website. It takes an hour to do, okay, but it will tell you what you're supposed to be doing, what you agreed to do before you came to Earth. Timing with any job opportunity coming up. I am also trying to start my own intuitive therapy business simultaneously, but need guidance on the next steps. Okay, we're not going to be able to get to all this. Let's just pick intuitive therapy business, let's say next steps. Okay, so I'll get to what I can. Let's start with career switch. Let's just take a look at your life contract. So when I look at your life contract, Corey, we're talking about you having a lot of insight into what people want, into what people will need. So forward thinking, you are a few steps ahead. Now, people who have this in their life contract, in their astrology chart, in their numerology chart, it would play out in real life like you knew 10 years ago what was going to become popular, okay? Or you're receiving insights about things that people need to hear, changes that are going to occur, but it hasn't happened yet. And when you say something out loud, no one really resonates with it, okay? But 2 years later, they do. TikTok is about to shut me down if they haven't already. So if you're on TikTok, switch over here to YouTube at Ask Ivy. So, and TikTok just does that habitually. They hate me. So it is what it is. But I think that what you need to be doing is paying more attention to why that happens for you and what that means for what it is you have to say, or what you want to market, or what you want to push. How can you use that going forward? Now, what we're really talking about here with that underlying skill is communication, marketing, advertising, understanding trends, understanding where everything is going, bigger picture thinking, years before anybody else gets it. And it puts you in a unique position to be ready and available when those changes actually occur in real time. So a great example is you start talking on a topic or offering a service, but you know most people aren't going to be wanting it or ready for it, or they may not care. But when it blows up and everyone's ready for it a couple years later, you're an expert in that spot because you've been talking about it all along. And when all the newbies and the bottom feeders, right, and the mimickers, the mimes come out to try to grab up that client base, but they haven't earned it, it's going to go to you. So you want to make sure you're paying more attention to that as you build. One of the things you're able to do, and this brings me to the intuitive therapy business that you're talking about, I think one of the things you're really able to do is marry those two worlds. And it helps for you to also be a little bit careful about how you're pursuing the business aspect of it, because that may feel a little bit out of alignment for you. You may look at business and be like, I don't really get it. Like, I don't get it. I don't want to get a degree in business. I don't really understand. Also, part of it is that you can't market things like healing and genuine light work with typical business strategy. You just can't. So don't misconstrue what's really going on here. You will intuitively know, but you need to focus more on your business approach. All right. So how do you plan to launch? I would come up with like 10 points if I were you. And I think that needs to be your next step, is that you are looking at the next 10 things you want to say and accomplish in your intuitive therapy business, and you need to start sort of showing up for that more. It is in alignment with your life contract, and that looks really nice. Okay. So I would focus there. Okay. Other jobs are just going to be other jobs. It's whatever. It's sort of, it's not really important. They can pay the bills, but it's not somewhere you want to focus too much attention on. It's just like subsidizing, life. All right, thank you, Corey. We're going to move on to another one. This is a $5 from Sarah. And Sarah wants to know, hi, Ivy. Hi, Sarah. Do you see me working at my current job, OSF, in the next year? OSF in the next year? I think you could. I mean, I was going to say the 4th month, and then the 6th month, I see some changes and shifts, but I see it in the 3rd month as well. The 3rd month more dynamic than the 4th and the 6th, actually. So I think there's something going on connected between the 4th and the 6th month, like a period of time where there's a change going on. I think in the 3rd month, it's really the deciding factor, where maybe you're going to want to like invest more, or they'll be investing more, in the employees, for example, or not. That's where the decision will be made. I think, though, there's a lot of room for your free will in this, which suggests to me it's up to you whether you stay or you go. There will be options to kind of stick with the status quo. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of expansion necessarily there for you, but it'll be the option whether you want to be in a comfort zone. I don't feel like it's that comfortable, though. I don't know why you feel like you're on pins and needles, or it's upsetting you, or it's a stressful environment. There could be something, your work and money guide said trauma, but I don't think it's your trauma. It's not funny. I mean, but like stress, maybe people that are traumatized, it's something that's like, when you're highly empathic as you are, you have to really pay attention to when you put yourself in an environment like that, because you're absorbing other people's energy. Okay. So you may want to work on that a bit. There's an empathic awareness class up on my website that teaches you how to better block things and process, get it out of you. But I think that ultimately it's going to be up to you whether you stay or you go. I would expect some amount of turbulence, though, between the 3rd month and the 5th ballpark 6th month, where they're talking about making changes. Okay, and we may not feel comfortable there because of that as well. All right. Thank you, Sarah. We're going to move on to another one. The Silly Rabbit says, thank you, Ivy, and my team of light. You are so welcome. Thank you. Jessica, $5 question. All right. Jessica wants to know, do I have a money block that needs clearing? My husband and I can't seem to get ahead or anywhere comfortable. If it's not a block, what more can I do? I now only work 2 jobs. Oh my God. All right. So I think one of the things you guys need to do is have a conversation about being able to support each other through significant change that's going to be required. There's a desire here to get to a better place financially, but there's a simultaneous desire to not do the work. And what I mean by that is you're with a partner, therefore there's restriction in the sense that we don't want to rock the boat. You know, we sort of need each other's approval and continued support, continuous willingness to sacrifice. You know, there's a lot of energy that has to put into the type of changes that may need to be made here. And I think that remaining the same is gotten you exactly those results. Your finances are remaining the same, okay, or dwindling or staying stagnant. I mean, it's basically the same. So that's the first thing you need to do. You need to have a conversation. You know, if you are looking at wanting to seriously expand upon your training, your certifications, your education, or launch your own thing, get into entrepreneurship. Maybe that is through certification and entrepreneurship, right? But that's way out of your league for where you are right now. That would be new, okay? Maybe he wants to do something similar where it's going to require a lot of time and effort and blind faith, and you guys aren't willing to do those things because you've decided that in doing that, you're going to make your finances even worse. I think sometimes when you're in a relationship like this, you have to take turns. And it's sort of become this question of who wants to go first, who's going to support the other one first. And it's a challenge and a test in the relationship, okay, and the true value of the relationship as well. And so that goes for everyone tuning in. Sometimes you have to do those things, and that's what's going to be required to get you out of this. So first have that conversation, be honest about where you want to be, what's in your life contract, what you want to do, and see who should go first and start supporting each other more significantly in that, okay? We're going to move on to, Sarah said 1,000%. Okay. Edgar, $10 question, 12, 13, 15, 16. So Edgar wants to know, could I please get a finance prediction for 2025? Finance prediction for 2025, Edgar. Seems like a big chunk of money actually coming into your bank account in the first quarter of the year. And I can't prescribe a diagnose, but it does look like a bit of an inheritance to me. So that can just be a category, you know, I don't want to color it, but it could be a category where it's like, maybe it's coming from an inheritance. Maybe it's just coming from like the government or like a great tax return, you know, or extra from some avenue you didn't expect. It's not the kind of thing you like worked for. Okay. So I like that. It also looks like you're taking your money pretty seriously in 2025, and you're thinking more in terms of investments. Okay. So in the second, like middle bit, 6 months onward, so the second half of the year, you start to think very seriously, how can I take this and invest? What can I put it in? What can I put it in? And that may look like considerations significant on real estate. That could also be putting money into something like a stock or a business or even entrepreneurship, where let's just say, for example, I know you sent in a question earlier, you said you're a therapist. Maybe you start wanting to get out of your Starlight, whatever company you work for. Maybe you're like, what if I were to do this on my own? what if I were to offer, and maybe even bring other people with me, maybe, but I were to offer services, but I keep 100% of that cash. They're not taking a cut anymore. And I have freedom to expand and be creative and manipulate my schedule any way I want. Like, what does this mean if I were to do that? So I have your brain just sort of like, what about this? What about this? What about this? I can't give a 100% guarantee on what you're going to choose to do. But I think that second half of the year, again, after June and onward, you're really seeing some interesting things that are not necessarily being shown to you, from the outside world, and coming from a place of like, greed or ego or like, wanting financial stability, as much as it's coming literally from the universe, triggering your thought and your higher mind, attracting and manifesting these concepts to you. What we don't want to do is get tied up in thinking that because I saw it, because I heard it, because I thought it, because it's here, it means it's time. I should do it, put everything in and hit the ground running with it. That's not always what that means. That means it's whetting your palate. It's getting you to think. It's getting you in alignment with those options. Okay, that energy. So, don't rush, but that could be a very lucrative process for you. And I think that at the very tail end of 2025, there could be some kind of almost like a promotional type payout coming. Okay, so that seems to be coming more from like an employer. Okay, that type of a situation. All right, thank you, Edgar. We are going to, Jessica says, thank you very much. You're welcome, Jessica. Thank you. We are at time. All right, you guys, I didn't even announce it yet, but my new show, The Unbound Sage, where you drop a $10 donation and I give you whatever message is waiting for you from the universe, from my psychic ability, from your loved ones on the other side, whatever it is that's waiting, that you need to hear, most importantly right now. We are doing an episode Monday at 9 p.m. back here on all these platforms. So check it out. Again, get yourself registered for the Psychic Mediumship course. Get in on the raffle, $2,500 value to win a free seat to the Psychic Mediumship course and tarot class. Both begin January 7th. And if you guys want to book a money, career, investment reading with me, you want some privacy and undivided attention, it's up on my website, IvyRiveraPsychicMedium.com. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Spirit. Have a good night.